Well, I'm joined now from Oxford by Rod McKenzie, Managing Director, Policy and Public Affairs at the Road Haulage Association. Thanks for coming in the programme. Happy New Year. So the government has said that these preparations taking place are enough and on time. Do you buy that?
No, I don't, Matt. These preparations for a no-deal Brexit should have started many, many months ago. We have 60 working days to go to a potential cliff-edge Brexit, and let's hope it's not a cliff edge. What we want is a transition period that buys us more time. Why? Because business needs more time. British business is not ready for a cliff-edge Brexit. And it's not just the haulage and logistics industry that will be hit by that, it's all of us.
Of course, there are some people who want Brexit to happen, are happy with a no-deal Brexit, who say that actually this is just scaremongering. You know, when it comes on the 29th of March, we will be prepared, and actually, despite a few hiccups, business and life will continue as before. What do you say to them?
Well, we don't do Project Fear, we do Project Reality. And the reality is, if there is a no-deal Brexit, there are 40,000 lorries that will need 2,000 permits to get across to the other side of the channel. Now, that means roughly 38,000 lorries won't be able to trade. And that's going to affect our supply chain, the crucial supply chain that keeps Britain running. There is also the question of customs. With non-EU rules, the customs burden on logistics companies to fill out forms is enormous. And do you know what? We haven't really been told what we need to do. So with the clock running out on us, British business simply doesn't quite know what to do. And what's happening at Manston and what's happening in Ramsgate, well, it's not going to solve the problem.
And Manston is that disused airport that's going to be turned into a very large parking lot for lorries, right?
Well, that's right. And we learnt today that, we knew about it for a little while, but it's now sort of hit the public domain, that there's going to be a dry run, if you like, for a potential Dover chaos on Monday, with around about 100 lorries turning up at Manston early in the morning to do a dry run of what it would be like to be held there for a while and then moved off to Dover in due course to relieve the pressure on the port of Dover. But the problem is that there are 12,000 lorries a day that use Dover, and this is a dummy run with around about 100. So again, it's difficult to come to a conclusion other than, OK, you can't criticise the government for doing no-deal planning, but not at this stage and not on this scale.
I mean, a lot of the language used for preparing for a no-deal really is akin to the kind of language used in times of conflict. But then when you look at that single dredger in the port of Ramsgate, you think more of Dad's army, don't you?
Well, there are certainly many images that come to mind. You know, Alex Thompson in his report was talking about the fact that it might take up to Brexit Day or no-deal Brexit Day for the port to be adequately dredged. You know, we are running out of time. And by the way, Ramsgate, and you know, you've done a very serious piece of journalistic investigation on the company and all that. But even if we were to believe the government press release, they're going to have a couple of ferries to start with and maybe a couple later. That's not going to be enough to ship the sort of lorries we need. Let
me ask you one final question. Do you think it's possible that these, you know, preparations for a no-deal Brexit, which sound incredibly serious, and, you know, a lot of the stuff that the no-deal Brexiteers would say is just scaremongering. Do you think that this is political theatre put on by the government to scare MPs into voting for Theresa May's deal?
Well, of course, that's political interpretation, Matt, and clearly one that a lot of people would agree with. The Road Haulage Association isn't a party political organisation. What we're worried about is our members, hauliers, who do this vital job to carry stuff to you and me every day of the week, the things that we rely on to make the UK supply chain work. And it could fail if we get a bad outcome here.
OK. Rod McKenzie, thanks very much. Got to leave it there.